It's coming. That new year is coming, and y'all better be prepared for it. I know I'm trying to. I've never really been one for New Year's resolutions. I think sometimes those don't really work out for a lot of people. Sometimes they can be like excuses and ways for people to say, oh, yeah, I'll wait till the New Year's to do it. I'll wait till the New Year's to form healthy habits. And then nothing really comes to fruition because people procrastinate and whatnot. But this year, I would actually like to try it and stick with it. So these are 5 healthy habits and goals that I have for myself for not just the new year. Like I want to be starting this now, but things that I want to continue doing throughout my life. So let's get into it. Number 1, I want to start putting my needs first. I have a hard time with putting my needs above others. I'm always considerate of others. I'm always thinking of how I can help people, how I can better them. And even if it's at the cost of my own mental health or my own wellness. And that has been a detriment to my health recently. And I want to put a stop to that. I am the most important person in my life currently. And the only person that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life is me. So I want to make sure that I'm creating a safe environment for me, a safe headspace for myself. And hi, honey. Maybe you're the most important person in my life. Yeah, well, you're not really a person. I want to also make sure that I'm really actively listening to what my body needs, both physically and mentally. If I'm having a rough day and not wanting it to get any worse, identifying in that moment, what do I need? What do I need to feel good right now? What do I need so that I can... Is she eating the plant? Hey, you can't eat those, Valkyrie. You want to smell them? You can smell them. What was I saying? Don't eat them, Valkyrie. Also with relationships and partnerships and friendships, all the interactions and connections that I have with people, I want to be able to identify what I need in order to have a healthy, sustainable interaction or partnership with somebody. This is just something I have always struggled with, and I want to change that because it hasn't been working out in the past. So maybe it's finally time I put myself first. And saying that out loud, it feels good. Part of me is like, oh, well, that sounds selfish. Maybe, but I'm allowed to be selfish. I am. And I'm not gonna worry about it. The second thing that I'd like to start doing is staying consistent and growing my YouTube channel. I've been really doing well in the past couple weeks with posting every Sunday, and I want to stay consistent with that. But I'm also kind of going through, I feel like, a rebranding. I previously said I didn't want to niche down, and I don't. I'm not really worried about brand deals and things like that anymore. I want to grow my YouTube channel for myself and also to help people out there. So if I, don't niche down and don't get brand deals, that's fine because that's not what it's about. But however, I will say I kind of like this content of just sitting down and talking, speaking about things of wellness and self-improvement and mindset things, but also kind of sprinkling in a little bit of lifestyle things like my natural hair or vlogging or things that I'm up to, things that I'm doing in my life. And so I think that's kind of where I want to take this channel. As some of you may know, I also created a podcast alongside with my channel on Spotify. It's called Literally Whatever Babe. And it's where I talk about literally whatever. So the name says. And a lot of the episodes, well, I only have 2 right now, but a lot of the videos that I'll start making on YouTube in this kind of sit down talking style will be uploaded onto my Spotify. And then I'll probably make some extra content that might be separate from my YouTube channel for my podcast. And then hopefully maybe having some special guests come, my friends come on, my family members come on. I really just want to keep expanding in different areas. And It's been really fun so far to like, when I'm driving, I put on my podcast and listen to it and see what it sounds like for like other people. And it's like really fun to like hear my voice. Previously, like I hated my voice. I would hate hearing my voice on camera. And I know a lot of y'all relate to that. But more recently, like, I don't know, it's been really fun hearing myself and I get like really proud. Is this like growth? I don't know, maybe. Another thing that I had wanted to stay consistent with and grow was TikTok. And I do currently have a separate TikTok from my personal one for more of my like content creation, UGC style videos and things like that. But I live in the US and currently the plan for the US is to ban TikTok, unfortunately. So I don't know what that entails for that. Like, I don't know if we're going to try to move to another app, if we're going to like get VPNs and whatever. I don't know. So I'm really trying to focus on growing my YouTube instead. And then on my TikTok, really focusing on promoting my YouTube and sending those followers over to YouTube so that when TikTok gets banned, they know where to find me. You want to come up here? Side note, my dogs went to go meet Santa today and take photos with him. And they have matching sweaters. The other one's laying down. She does not have her sweater on because she doesn't really like wearing sweaters. But they're so cute. I will insert some pictures of them. They were so lovely. You have anything to say? He doesn't have anything to say. The third thing that I want to start working on is speaking to myself kinder. I am my own bully a lot of the times, and I want to put a stop to that shit right now, because if I'm not talking to anybody else like that, then why should I be talking to myself in that way? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We will not be doing that anymore. So making sure I'm having a lot of grace for myself when I mess up or make mistakes, like not immediately putting myself down and having all this negative self-talk, like that's not okay. That is absolutely not okay for me to be doing. So really giving myself patience and that grace to make mistakes and learn from them and grow is so important and something that I really need to work on. In addition to this, also speaking kindly to my body and the way I look. Like, my body is what houses my entire being, my soul. And why wouldn't I want to speak kindly to it and thank it for providing me life and keeping me healthy and providing me with the opportunity to have experiences in life? And so really making sure that I'm complimenting myself and recognizing my beauty and giving my body what it needs: water, food, working out, things like that. I haven't been able to work out super hard like I was in the past because I had hernia surgery. And so lifting is kind of like a no-go anymore. But even like going on walks, hot girl walks, it's a little harder now because it's winter and it's cold outside. But I'm going to try to make it work. Maybe get some more sweaters for Valkyrie and maybe some like booties for her so she can like walk outside and the salt doesn't like burn her paws. But really making sure that I have no excuses of, well, it's too cold outside. And no, put on a jacket, throw on a hat and a scarf and some gloves and go. Like, you're fine. Go on a walk, go and clear your head, and you'll be much better for it. The fourth thing that I want to work on is reading more books. Y'all, I have so many books. So many books. I have boxes of books. Boxes and boxes of books. I went through them recently to like try to throw away, like not throw away, but like donate and get rid of the ones that I didn't want to read. And I couldn't get rid of any. I don't know if that was from my anxiety of holding on to things and my hoarding, or if I genuinely wanted to read them. We're still discerning that. However, I want to start reading these books. They're like so interesting. Like, I got them for a reason. And I don't know, I start really strong on books. Like, I'll read like a few chapters at a time And then all of a sudden I'm like, nah. Like, it's not that the book isn't interesting. It's just like, I don't know. I think I have to dig a little deeper on why I don't continue to read books. Like, I don't know. I read a lot of fan fiction. Like, that's fine. I can get through. I have stayed up till 4 a.m. This was actually last night. So it's not like this was years ago when I was a teenager. This was last night. But I stayed up till 4 a.m. reading a fan fiction. It was 50 chapters. I got to like chapter 30. Why can I read? I mean, I know fan fiction sometimes are shorter than like actual books, but like I'm reading multiple a night. Multiple. Sometimes I reread them. Why can I spend so much energy and time on fan fictions and not, put that time towards self-improvement books or like fantasy books? Like fantasy books, they're kind of the same as fan fiction. All right. Sometimes I'm like they're just the same, if not more juicier. So I think the biggest thing for me is I want to start reading like self-improvement books. And I have a lot of them and they're so interesting. And it's just, I can't get myself to read them. I don't understand why. So that is something I want to start working on. Perhaps, spending 15 minutes before bed, putting my phone away and reading just 15 minutes of a book, starting off small and then eventually working my way up, getting up early, reading 15 minutes of a book and then having tea or hot chocolate in the morning with that. Maybe not hot chocolate because that doesn't sound healthy. Some tea. We'll start with some good tea, not gossip, actual tea, and just read. That's something I want to start implementing into my routine. And I think it'll set me up for the day even better because right now, I do look at my phone a lot, and that's kind of what I was scared with all the content creation stuff because I'm always checking like TikTok and YouTube and things like that of like, because everybody on TikTok says, oh, you have to post 3 times a day, 4 times a day, 5 times a day if you want to grow. And it's like, I don't want to be addicted to my phone. So I kind of have to find a good balance there. But yeah, I have to be more mindful of when I'm going on social media and if I'm using it for with a purpose in mind, or if I'm just trying to do like the death scroll and just endless scrolling. My last thing that I want to do for this year, but especially for my whole life, is to just live life without fear. And I recognize that, I'm still going to experience anxieties. I'm still going to experience fear. Like that is a normal emotion and I don't want to repress that and not live in that sometimes. But I don't want that fear to hold me back from pursuing things that I want. And that is the biggest thing. So when I say living life without fear, maybe I should reword that. Maybe it's living life despite having fear of things. Living life. Yeah, I'd say living life authentically. Let me add that. Living life authentically despite having fear. I think that sounds pretty good. I don't want fear holding me back from doing things. I want to travel and see the country, but part of me is scared of the state of the country and what it could look like in the next couple years and in the future. And I would always tell my dad I want to go travel out west and travel in a van by myself with my dog, maybe not full time, but like for some months out of the year. And I want to go camping, I want to go hiking, I want to do all these things. And he always warns me of like, well, you shouldn't be doing that because there's crazy people out there. I'm like, yes, there is. I recognize that. The world is a scary place sometimes, filled with some scary people, but it's also filled with so many beautiful things and beautiful people that I want to get to know and see. And I don't want that fear holding me back from experiencing that. I also don't want fear holding me back from starting to grow on YouTube, the fear of being seen. Like, I have gotten some comments on my social media pages of like, I want to start this, I want to do this, but like, I'm scared, and I don't want people to laugh at me, and I don't want, but like, you can't let people hold you back. And more importantly, you can't hold yourself back. You can't let yourself hold you back from living life and doing the things that you want to do. And even if you try it and you fail, or it doesn't go the way you expected, like, all right, cool, that's life. At least you tried it. At least you tried it. And what are these other people doing who are laughing at you and saying things about you? They're not living life authentically. They are choosing to spend their time and energy judging somebody else instead of progressing and growing in their life. That says a lot about their character. So I wouldn't personally want somebody like that holding me back. Shameful? No, it's not shameful. It's just silly sometimes when you think about it. And I don't mean silly in the way of like totally invalidating the feelings of like, oh, well, this is silly and you shouldn't feel like this. No, it's just like sometimes when you think about it, you're like, it is a little silly. And like, you can laugh at yourself of like, like, yeah, I'm feeling this emotion right now, but like, I don't need to be worrying about this. That's kind of what I have envisioned for myself, my future goals, my healthy habits that I want to start forming. And I encourage you guys to also kind of sit down with yourself and think about some of these things that you want to improve on, either in the next year or just in life in general. Like, you don't necessarily have to come up with a New Year's resolution and like write it down and all these things. But like, if it helps, do it. And if you don't stick to it, don't get down on yourself. It is hard to have all these different things coming at you in life and trying to stay consistent and grow through all this darkness and all this sadness and problems and challenges. Like, it is hard. And I am so proud of you for even considering and trying to grow through this. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about humans is, despite adversities that we face, we will always find a way through it. And that's just, I love being a human. I love being a being. I love being a being. I love that I was put on this earth to experience everything that I'm experiencing right now. And even though it's hard, even though I'm going to start crying, I think, hold on. Even though things have been really challenging in the past, I'm so grateful that I get to experience those emotions. I'm specifically thinking about my dog that passed away recently, very unexpectedly. And I think about her every day. I think about her every single day without fail. And I am so grateful that I get to experience love. Sorry. No, don't apologize. It's okay. I'm so grateful that I get to experience love and that I got to have her in my life and show her that I loved her, and I know that she loved me. And so it's so hard. Grief is so hard, but grief means that I loved something so hard. And that is so beautiful. So I kind of went off on a tangent there at the end. If y'all know me, that's what I do. I just speak in my mind. I would love to know what your guys' goals and healthy habits that you want to start forming for this new year are. Like, leave it down below. I'd love to read them. I'd love to interact with you again. This is a community that I want to build, and just want you to know that I am proud of you. I support you fully, and I am sending good energy and light to you. Bye.